What is up, guys? Alex from ANAK here, and today I want to talk to you about how to learn new keyboard shortcuts in whatever software you're using, how to discover new keyboard shortcuts that you might not even think exist, and how to implement that into your workflow so you don't just turn around and forget them. So something that I'm very adamant about is that keyboard shortcuts are one of the best ways to edit faster and more efficiently. I see way too often people just clicking on everything they could possibly click on while they're working in whatever software they're using. And when I ask them, why don't you just learn keyboard shortcuts? It would make it so much more efficient. They either say, well, I tried and it just hasn't stuck in my head, or I don't think there's a shortcut for what I'm doing. Now, the thing with most modern softwares, especially professional softwares, is that there are key commands and keyboard shortcuts for just about everything, or you can use third-party software to create keyboard shortcuts or workflow hacks for things that don't exist natively in the software. So what I want to help you with today is just some things that I do and some things that I see that work for people trying to learn keyboard shortcuts regardless of the software. This could be just for your overall system or a specific piece of software you want to get faster at, and also ways to implement that into your workflow or alter your workflow so that you can become more efficient and more productive with whatever task you need done. Also, stick around to the end of the video because I have an example of how shaving 1 second off of every task that you do and every edit you do over the course of a project can literally save you hours. And it just goes to show how learning new shortcuts and new workflows can dramatically increase your productivity. So the first thing I want to talk about is to not learn too many shortcuts at once. This is one of the biggest mistakes I see so many people make. They decide, you know what, I'm going to become an efficient editor and I'm going to learn the shortcuts, and they go to YouTube and they watch the video that's 30 minutes long or 45 minutes long that is the 50 best shortcuts in this software. And then they promptly go and forget all of them. This is not at all the most effective way to do it. The best way to actually learn new shortcuts is to implement them in small doses. So as you're editing, as you're doing your task, and you find something that's very repetitive and think, maybe there's a faster or more efficient way to do this. That is when you look up that 1 or 2 shortcuts and implement it right away into the task that you're doing. Yes, it may slow you down initially, right when you have to think about that exact shortcut that you're hitting every time, but the more you do it, the more that it'll become muscle memory, and it will become second nature to the point that you don't even remember what the shortcut is anymore because your fingers just do that. So just learn 1 or 2 in the moment of doing whatever task you're doing that you realize maybe there's a more efficient way to do this. The second thing is how to find new shortcuts. Obviously, if you're editing and you think of something that maybe there's a more efficient way to do this, you go look up a shortcut in that software's manual of keyboard shortcuts, or Google it and find that shortcut to implement into your workflow. But there's another way to do that, and that is going to watch workflow and shortcut videos from other people. But there's 2 things you want to pick up from this. 1 is the shortcuts that they're using, but 2 is the method in which they're using them, the workflow that they're using them in. Because what you're going to find is people are doing the same task as what you're trying to accomplish and getting to the same end result, but they're going about it a different way and using shortcuts that you probably didn't even know existed or even thought needed to exist. But if you use them in that specific workflow, you're going to be more efficient at the task that you're trying to accomplish. By learning different workflows as well as different shortcuts, you're going to become much more efficient at accomplishing the overall tasks that you're trying to accomplish. So the third thing is write them down. As you find new shortcuts, as you find a new workflow with a few different shortcuts that you have to learn, write that down. Put it on a little sticky note, put it right in front of you. As you're doing those tasks over and over again, and as it comes up, you don't have to re-look up that video or re-look up that shortcut in the shortcuts guide. Often you're just gonna go, whatever, I can just click and it's gonna take much less time. But if you have that written right in front of you, you're gonna go, oh right, and look at the shortcut and implement the shortcut. And over time, you're not gonna have to look at that piece of paper anymore. It's just gonna become second nature in your head to remember to use those shortcuts. And number 4, going right along with that, is actually use them. So once you look them up and once you write them down, actually actively try and use them. Like I said, In the beginning, it is going to be slower, and every time you implement a new shortcut, you're going to have to actively think, right, use that shortcut. And if you add only one or two at a time, it's not going to slow you down too much, but it is going to speed you up over the long term as you get used to using them and as you get used to implementing new shortcuts. Something that I actually do sometimes is I start a project with the intent of finding more efficient ways to do one or two of the different tasks that I'm doing. So for me, with audio editing, I'll sometimes open up a drum track to edit and try and find shortcuts in the different things that I'm doing to make it more efficient. I know I'm not going to get that edit done that day. I know that it's not going to be super speedy, but I'm going to make sure that I actually use those shortcuts over and over and over again to try and drill them into my brain and actually make them stick. That's one of the best ways to make sure that they don't just go away. If you look it up, use it once, and then forget about it, of course it's not going to stick and you're not going to remember it, but shortcuts that you use constantly and actually continue to use, they're the ones that are going to stick. But before I end this video, I just want to give you an exact example of how small changes in your workflow and shortcuts can dramatically improve the time saved, which results in money saved for a lot of projects and being able to accomplish so much more. So I'm an audio editor and I calculated out how much time I would save if I shaved off 1 second off of every task I was doing while I was editing over the course of a whole record. I'm not going to describe the whole thing to you, but what I do want to highlight is if every edit took me 5 seconds and I managed to shorten it down to 4 seconds per edit. So 1 second per edit, which is a very slight change and only really a couple keyboard shortcuts, but every edit over the course of a record, it would literally save me approximately 11 hours. Making it from 54 hours to 43 hours. Now this is a very loose estimate, but it can show you the power of 1 second per edit. And that is literally the difference of moving your mouse from here to here to click and back to your edit, or hitting a keyboard shortcut. Overall, while learning new shortcuts, my biggest tip is to just take them in small pieces. 5 shortcuts or 1 new workflow every time you look something up, and maybe try that for a week and then try something else. Get it into your system before adding more new things. Now, I understand that it can get very exciting. You're like, oh, this is way faster, but you have to let it sink in before you can add more, because if you add too much all at once, it's just not gonna be efficient in the long run because you're gonna get sick of trying to remember them. And you're just going to revert back to the old way of clicking or using a workflow you know isn't nearly as efficient, but you just don't care anymore because, well, looking up that shortcut seems like a lot of work. But that is it for this video, guys. I hope you learned those shortcuts. I do have my 5 top Pro Tools shortcuts video that I'll link up here and in the description below. Otherwise, I hope you found some different ways to learn shortcuts and actually implement them into your workflow. And leave a comment down below with your favorite shortcut that you use that you think more people should know about, and what software it is that you use. There's a lot of creative people, so I think it could help some people. I will see you in the next video. Until then, always be creating.